Snow hammered the windows of the North Creek Motel, turning the world outside into a swirling white void. The storm had arrived earlier than expected, trapping the few remaining travelers who hadn't managed to escape the icy grip of the highway. Inside the dimly lit corridor, Maya Collins, the motel's night cleaner, tightened her worn jacket and pushed her rattling cart forward. She wasn't supposed to be here. Her shift ended 3 hours ago, but the panicked clerk begged her to stay when stranded drivers suddenly poured in. Maya needed the overtime money, so she stayed, like she always did. Room 12 smelled like stale coffee and cold air. As Maya scrubbed the bathroom sink, she heard a noise that didn't belong to the quiet monotony of her job, a thunderous crash from somewhere outside. She froze. Another crash followed, muffled by swirling snow. Heart pounding, she rushed to the window and wiped the fog away. Headlights wavered through the storm. A black SUV slid sideways, lost control, and slammed into a snowbank before vanishing behind a wave of drifting snow. "Not again," Maya muttered, already sprinting down the hall. Outside, the wind cut her like a blade. She pushed forward, leaning into the storm until she reached the half-submerged vehicle. She tugged on the driver's door, but it wouldn't open. She threw her shoulder at it again and again until it finally cracked. Inside sat a young man, dazed, gripping the wheel. "Can you hear me?" Maya yelled. He blinked slowly. "Where am I?" "You crashed. Come on. You need to get out. The engine's freezing." She looped his arm over her shoulder and dragged him through the snow. He leaned heavily on her, barely conscious, but somehow they made it back to the motel lobby. The clerk gasped. "Maya, what happened?" "He's alive. Barely. Grab blankets." Maya sat the stranger on the couch. He groaned softly as she wiped snow from his brow. "You saved me," he whispered. "Just doing what anyone would do," she said, though she knew most people wouldn't have gone out into that storm. The young man lifted his gaze, studying her through half-lidded eyes. His coat was expensive. His watch gleamed even under emergency lights. Definitely not an ordinary traveler. Before she could say anything else, the lights flickered. Wind screamed against the doors. The stranger held her hand weakly and murmured, "My name is Liam Arden." A name Maya recognized, though she couldn't yet place where or why it made her chest tighten. The power sputtered, then returned with a faint hum. Maya wrapped a blanket around Liam, who shivered despite the warmth. She dabbed the cut on his forehead with careful hands. "You're lucky," she said. "Another minute out there and you'd have frozen." Liam managed a small smile. "I guess I owe you my life." Before Maya could reply, the motel doors burst open, blasting cold air inside. 3 men rushed in, tall, serious, and moving with a synchronized urgency that screamed security detail. The leader, a stern man in a dark coat, scanned the lobby before locking onto Liam. "Liam, are you injured?" he demanded. Liam sighed. "I'm fine, Mason. Mostly thanks to her." Mason turned to Maya, assessing her with sharp eyes. "You found him?" She nodded. "He crashed behind the plow ridge." Mason softened just a hair. "We appreciate your help." It didn't sound like gratitude, more like protocol. Maya frowned. "He needs rest, not an interrogation." Liam smirked. "See? Someone here has sense." Mason stepped back grudgingly. Maya looked at Liam. "So, you travel with bodyguards?" Liam winced. "Not usually, but tonight was complicated." Maya raised a brow. "Complicated how?" He hesitated. "You probably know my last name." She did. Arden. Senator Arden. One of the most powerful political figures in the country. And this man, the one she dragged out of a blizzard, was his only son. Before she could respond, the lights flickered again and died completely. Emergency lamps kicked in, bathing everything in a dim red glow. The clerk panicked. We're losing power again, Mason barked orders to his team. Secure the exits! Liam leaned closer to Maya. I'm sorry. My presence tends to attract trouble. What does that mean? She asked. But before he could answer, Mason's radio crackled violently. Storm's worsening, highway sealed, no help coming. Maya's stomach tightened. Liam whispered, Looks like we're stuck here together. She didn't know then just how dangerous that would be. The motel plunged deeper into shadow as the storm roared against the walls. Mason and his team checked every exit while Maya led Liam to a small room so he could rest. You don't have to stay with me, Liam said gently. Maya shrugged. Someone has to keep you alive tonight. He smiled, tired, grateful, and oddly sincere. Most people only want something from me. You're different. My sister's tuition doesn't pay itself, she said. I work, that's all. Liam studied her. You deserve better than this place. Before she could respond, Mason burst into the room. We have a situation. They followed him to the lobby. Snow had climbed nearly halfway up the glass. The storm trapped them completely. Then the clerk's radio crackled. Unknown heat signatures approaching. Mason stiffened. They found us. Maya's blood chilled. Who? Liam answered quietly. People who want leverage over my father. Before she could process that, the back door rattled violently. Maya flinched as Mason's guards ran to barricade it. A metallic bang echoed from the hallway. Then the fire exit smashed open, spewing snow inside. A masked intruder stepped through, weapon raised. Maya didn't think. Instinct took over. She grabbed the metal mop handle from her cleaning cart and swung it with full force. The impact knocked his arm sideways, sending the weapon skidding across the floor. In the same moment, Mason's guard tackled him, pinning him down. Liam stared at her in awe. Maya, you're unbelievable! Don't make me do it again, she gasped. More footsteps crunched outside, but they were retreating. The blizzard was too strong for the attackers to stay long. Mason slammed the exit shut and locked it. Storm drove them back. We're safe. For now. Silence crept into the motel. Liam looked at Maya as if seeing her for the first time. You risked your life. Twice. She wiped sweat from her brow. Guess saving you is becoming a habit. He stepped closer, his voice warm. I won't forget it. Neither of them realized it yet, but the storm outside wasn't the only force changing Maya's life. Something new was just beginning. Hours passed. The storm slowly softened from a violent beast to a tired whisper. Guests slept uneasily. Mason's team guarded the entrances. Maya and Liam sat in the quiet lobby, wrapped in blankets, exhaustion heavy on both of them. Liam finally spoke. You kept me alive tonight twice, maybe 3 times. Anyone would have done the same, Maya said. He shook his head. No, not anyone. She looked away. Compliments made her uncomfortable. Liam continued. Before the crash, I was running from a fundraiser, a room full of wealthy people pretending to care about problems they've never faced. Sounds fun, she joked. He laughed softly. I wanted to feel normal. Just for a night. Instead, I nearly froze. Lucky I sweep snow monsters for a living, Maya replied. He studied her again, that thoughtful, steady gaze. You ever think about doing something bigger? Something that matters? She frowned. I don't get that luxury. I have bills, a sister in college. What if you did have a choice? He asked. She turned to him. His expression was serious, intent. I run a foundation, Liam said. Disaster response. Community support teams. Real work. Real impact. And we train people with instincts like yours. She blinked. Are you offering me a job? Not just a job, Liam said softly. A career, a new path. One where your courage actually matters. Maya felt something tighten in her chest. disbelief, hope, fear. She had spent her life cleaning up after strangers, surviving, doing what she had to. But tonight, she'd proven she was capable of far more. "What about your father?" Maya asked. "He won't approve." Liam smiled gently. "For once, this isn't about him." The storm outside finally calmed to a hush. Maya looked at the business card in her trembling hand. Liam Arden Relief Initiative. She exhaled shakily. "Okay, I'll try." Liam's smile warmed the cold room. Then this night wasn't wasted after all. The storm had trapped them both, but in its chaos, Maya found something she never expected. A way out. A new beginning. And a stranger who saw her not as a cleaner in a forgotten motel, but as someone capable of changing lives, including her own.